We're living in a day where it's not really popular to address sin. Everything is permissible, and God is just simply not accepting a lot of what we're putting out there in the name of church or religion or Christianity. And my goal is not to condemn sin as much as it is to make sure that everybody I come in contact realizes that you don't have to sin. The wages of sin is death. And so, by the law, all of us were convicted and sentenced to death. But Jesus served that sentence on the cross. And now we are free. We're free to live without sin. And we do have that power and that authority through Jesus' sacrifice. And I just want to make sure that we understand that we don't have to live in bondage. Jesus set us free. The Sanctuary Academy presents the 90 Days of Summer Virtual Vacation Bible School, accessible via computer, tablet, or phone. It's like placing summer camp in the palm of your hands. Daily activities include interactive videos, games, and exercises. To enroll, visit www.thesanctuary.academy. As always, it is such a pleasure to be here for the Sanctuary Sunday School. I do want to acknowledge the fact that I have fallen a bit behind with responding to comments, but do not stop commenting. I love hearing from you, and I will get back to everyone. I have been absorbed in the virtual vacation Bible school, and it's taken off. It's already launched. There is still time. You can enroll your children. Enroll every child that you know. We don't want to exclude anyone. You can find that at the website www.thesanctuary.academy. This week's subject is the New Testament's sacrifice, the New Covenant's sacrifice, and that is Jesus. And here we're talking about Jesus functioning as the high priest. The high priest was an office where they stood in place of God, and they went and they acted as intercessors between mankind and God. They were the only ones who were able to actually do or prepare the sacrifices to God. So this was a very high office. And here we see Paul styling Jesus as the high priest. But he was greater than the high priest because it said he had a greater tabernacle. And his tabernacle was not made with hands. And the difference is, remember, blood was necessary for the forgiveness of sin, but Jesus did not need to use animals for blood. He shed his very own blood to act as that high priest, that intercessor, that mediator, giving us access to God. And this is the third lesson in this series that we've had that addresses this. And it really drives home the fact to me that we have access to the Father. No one, no human being can keep you from going to heaven. You want to please the Lord, and you want to get to God through his one and only Son, Jesus. And then it goes on to say that, if God accepted the sacrifice of animals, where they kill these animals and they spread the animals' blood across the altar, if God accepted that, imagine how much more power, how much more saving and sanctifying power there is in the blood of his only begotten Son, Jesus. And so it says that Jesus, but I love this, it says that it purges your consciousness. Purge takes out everything, just burns it off, everything that's not right. It makes it clean. It renews it. Your consciousness, your mind, every thought, every evil thought has been burned away from your mind. And then I love this. It says, dead works to serve a living God. See, when you don't accept Jesus Christ and you don't have the power of God in your life, your works are dead. They're futile. They don't mean anything. But then he said, you're going to serve a living God. Jesus is alive. He's alive in me. He's alive in us. And we are serving a living God. And so then he uses word like mediator and redemption. So the mediator, again, he's that intercessor going to God on our behalf. Then he talks about redemption. We belong to God. Redemption indicates ownership. The enemy may possess your mind and your body and cause you to sin, but the devil does not own you. That's why God can redeem you through his son Jesus, because you were created by God and you belong to God. And he talks about this New Testament. Now, when you look at the word testament as it's used here, the testament, it is like the distribution of property after someone has died. So when somebody dies, you read the last will and testament, and it tells you who is the beneficiary, who's going to get whatever is left behind. So this testament, so in order for there to be a testament, there has to be a testator, which was Jesus. Jesus died, and by him doing that, we inherit the eternal life from the Father. And so Jesus just set this up, and I love the way that God works. So now through the Old Testament, it was established through Moses, the law, and under the law, they were able to use the blood of animals. But Jesus brought in a New Testament where his blood was used, and now there no longer has to be any bloodshed, because again, by law, without the shedding of blood, there's no remission of sin. There had to be a blood offering in order to wash away the sin. And this is proof once again that Jesus fulfilled the law as the New Testament covenant's sacrifice.